qualifier. Once again, use that Raven Z command. Please throw him a follow if you guys can, because they were nice enough to let me cast. So let's get started. PvT is a matchup that's changed up a decent chunk in the last few weeks. This should be a bit interesting. In the top left-hand corner, the number one Grandmaster, probably the number one player in the world right now. It is Innovation. In the bottom right, the Challenger. Also a high-level player, but, I mean, anyone, when compared to Innovation, is looking up. But it is from the Dopeness clan, Super. I believe Super's... I forget if he's qualified. I think he was in Star League. I'm not entirely sure. At this point, it's like, fucking scrub. He's no good. He's only like 6,500 MMR and Innovation 7K. Anyways. Alright, why haven't you been doing bets? Because I'm too lazy. If you want to do bets, you can do bets. But, let's talk about PvT for a second. A lot of players, there's been the nerf to the Liberator, which made it so it no longer two-shots Stalkers. It no longer two-shots Adepts and Zealots and all of that. It's a pretty big nerf, especially against Protoss. But the way TVP usually goes, and it looks like Innovation's going down this road, and so is Super, you've got your early expo into some sort of technical harass. It's rare to just see someone go straight for like a 2-Rax into Medivacs as a Terran player. It's rare for a Protoss just to go like 3 gates and a Robo. The Robo's probably more likely than the Medivac push, but you see out of a Terran, they get a factory for Widow Mines, every once in a while a Cyclone drop, and then you follow up with maybe a Liberator, maybe a Marine drop while you're going for some sort of harass. But it's light harass designed to hit a Protoss where they're weakest. On the other side, Protoss players, especially lately, have been opting for the Stargate early on, more than anything else, because the Stargate allows you not only to defend, but also to counterattack. If you can control the pace of a game by taking out the air units with Phoenixes, by forcing out turrets, or maybe even killing workers with an Oracle, you get a lot more done. We're going to have to see here. Immediately opting for the Mothership Core. Nothing. This probably will be a Stalker at this point, coming out of the Gateway. And then I wouldn't be surprised to see, rather. Oh, it goes for an Adept. He could have started the Adept earlier. Okay. But he also has this little wall here, which keeps the Reaper from getting in. Just good basic things to do with setting up your buildings. On the other side, we have a factory already done for Innovation. He's got his second gas up pretty quick. No second barracks. Will it be a Widow Mine first? He has the gas now. Literally at 27 gas, goes ahead and starts it. On the other side, it looks like it will be a Robo Opener out of Super. So the follow-up usually here we see is a Twilight Council. If he's crazy, he'll drop down a Robo Bay. We'll see Disruptor drops. But I would likely say this is going to be a Twilight Council sooner rather than later. Yeah, adding on the 3 gates, this is just so you have the unit count to combine with things like a Warp Prism, or to combine with your Observers to pick off Widow Mine drops and stuff like that. It's not a big deal either way. But we have a Medivac and a Widow Mine drop coming out. So nothing crazy here. A little bit, for all intents and purposes, a standard game. More barracks are being added on. We should see another one in a moment. But we'll have to see. He's actually walking away with his Widow Mine. Is he just going to put it in a random location, or is he bringing it to the 3rd? I think he might be going for the 3rd with this. Just make sure he has that locked down. Maybe delayed a little bit longer. Oh my god! Alright, he is crazy. Never mind. Robo Bay right off the bat before the Twilight Council. And this is a risk, especially if Innovation scouts it. Oh, he really doesn't want him to scout that Robo Bay. Okay, let's look at Innovation's vision. He doesn't see it. I mean, this drop is about to come in, but he has the Mothership Core on point. The Widow Mine will be in position. It won't trigger on the probes from there, but it will be annoying as shit to deal with. No. It's just a little bit out of position. Yeah, he can't really defend it. Oh no, he lost the Observer! He got the Widow Mine at the last second, but that was a bit of a mistake there on a Super for sure. To lose the Observer and the Adept simultaneously, that's just an unforced error pretty much. That didn't need to happen, but it did. So now Super finds himself, he's a bit supply blocked. He's starting immediately into Colossi. No Twilight yet. Actually, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, Colossi first has actually been a little bit more popular. I'm outdated. I'm outdated, guys. I completely forgot how players are tending towards the Colossi first, because if you don't get the Colossi first, there's a timing with Medivacs early on that can just do so much damage to you before you get the initial Colossus, and it allows them to respond too quickly to the Colossi. It's actually more popular lately to go for the Colossi first instead of going for the Twilight Council. The Twilight Council was definitely the bread and butter for several months, especially closer to the start of Legacy of the Void, but Protoss players have realized, and Terran players have realized, that there's just such a window, especially when you're trying to take your third base, to be exploited by early Medivacs or Liberators or anything in between. What is that noise? He doesn't like those rocks. But Innovation is just keeping things busy. Let's go ahead and jump back to the Terran base, where an observer is seeing everything going on and not surprised by any of it. We've got 3 racks jacked up and good to go. We've got a reactor factory as well as a starport and a couple tanks to lock him down against any early attacks. He didn't see the Robo Bay, remember. He didn't know for sure what tech path this was going to be, so the tanks are a good safety maneuver now that he realizes he's not going to come under a massive attack. And then he's switching into the Widow Mines, which are more effective when combined with Medivacs and when combined with Liberators than the immobile tanks. Alright, is that 2? No, that's the same observer. I think he just spotted the SCV going towards this base. The drop here with a handful of Marines is still chilling. Will be scouted out by the Mothership Corps on these beautiful underwater... These look like palm trees underwater, because you know there are a lot of underwater palm trees nowadays. It's a growing trend. Oh god. The double upgrades are on the way, but Innovation finishing up his +1 in combat shields before it. Now, he doesn't know about the Colossi. His Thermal Lance, yes. His Thermal Lances are fully extended. But the main base is under fire. Good overcharge placement there. He's going to be able to drive away this drop. What is happening here? So, Super's actually swinging around. There's no Twilight Council for upgrades. He could get some sick force fields. He's actually going to get on top of these tanks. Innovation did not have the information. And these tanks are just going to go down. There's really no way. Super's cutting off the potential to drop in. And Innovation actually going to lose a decent chunk of bio and all of his tanks. And by that I mean 2. But and that's going to open up a window. Super's going to be able to get his third base up. He's going to be able to get his double upgrades. Does he have a Twilight yet? He just remembered it. Probably with the upgrades finishing. And he should be able to drive back these attacks on either side. You got to be careful with those sentries. Oh, stressing me out here. You got a double drop at the back. The Mothership Core actually moved out of position. I'm not sure where it went. And that's real unfortunate now. The Super's starting to get picked apart from a couple different angles. Will he pop the other overcharge? I don't think he needs to. But Innovation... Oh my god, a drop in the main as well! Would you stop? But if he's actually able to take out the Medivac, he does a good job of targeting, but... So, now here's the problem for Innovation. As time goes on. Is that he... What's the worker count? 58 to 47. Oh, he killed a lot more probes than I thought. 13. So with the later third base, obviously the third base is later because you got to go for all this tech in order to be able to defend the mid-game timing from Terran. That means he wasn't able to get the third, he wasn't consistently producing probes, and losing any really hurts. So despite the fact he's been able to build up this strong army, he's up to 3 Colossi. Innovation has kept him bottled up back at home. He's hurt his economy. He's gained map control. And now Innovation is working towards a double-digit Viking count, which will sweep the Colossi off the battlefield before they even get more than a few swipes off. So despite the fact that Super's done a good job defending, he has not done a great job, and Innovation requires an exceptional one in order to get even close to beating him. He is the best player in the world, in my opinion. And he ain't taking no shit from nobody. And I say as probably the whitest person you know. 4 Vikings on the way at a time. It looks like Super just going to sit back on his upgrades. Blink is pretty far out right now, which means he doesn't really have the mobility to defend these Colossi. And without the ability to protect the Colossi adequately, he has to sit back. He can't. He has hundreds of gas invested in these upgrades, in Blink, in this unit composition. So he has to sit back and defend. He just actually got some good vision on the Vikings. Will he be able to finish 2-2 in time? If he can finish 2-2, the army on the ground actually will take a while to chew through. The Colossi will take a couple more Viking hits. Innovation's armory is pretty far out, so there's a 20-second window for Innovation to really push into it. Somebody accidentally hitting the Alt key. I assume it's Ravens. But it's not done yet. Yeah, those overcharges were necessary. He just needs to make sure Innovation backs off and doesn't take this fight yet. He needs the blink. He needs the 2-2 to have a hope. And, of course, the 3 Marines with the 0 HP medevac in the back finding a way in and finding some damage. And if he splits off any attention to deal with that in his main, he's not paying... Okay, he uses the overcharge, but he's bringing it in at the same time. Beautiful Viking micro keeping him back. 2 Colossi go down right off the bat, but 2-2 has finished. Blink is almost done. Innovation up 30 supply. Rest in peace, Colossi ascending. Press F to pay respects. But I don't know if the upgrades are going to save him here. There's still a lot of Vikings dropping onto the deck. Great force fields out of Super. That's the only thing that's going to save him here. He needs to cut off bite-sized pieces of this army and chew thoroughly. Because he has the upgrade advantage, which means he can trade. The only way you can trade with just gateway units and a handful of Immortals against Medevac Bio is if you have those upgrades. Oh god, a triple drop coming in towards here. He's splitting off a decent chunk of his army. Will it be enough to defend? He has a Guardian Shield. A triple drop, though, is going to chew through these Stalkers very easily. On the other side, though, Innovation finding a bit too much. This single Immortal worth its weight in golden minerals. And it looks like Super is going to be able to hold on in every location. It is now 65 to 55 workers, which actually means the army supplies are nearly even. 89 to 72. Okay, he just made a few more units. And 4 Liberators on the way, because he's chopped up a decent chunk of these Stalkers. He's down to 10. I don't know if that's enough. I believe 10 one-shots a Liberator. I think 8 is the number that one-shots a Liberator. But I'm going to be honest, I'm just completely bullshitting that number. Okay. So, does he have a fusion core for Liberator range? Advanced ballistics. It doesn't look like that is the case. We got 3-3 on the way. 2-2 is finishing up for Innovation, so that opens up another relatively wide window where he can attack, and his units are just going to be incredibly cost-effective. Where is the splash damage? There is none. If upgrades are even, and you're fighting against Liberators and Medevacs, you need splash damage to even up the odds. Otherwise, Innovation's just gonna run him over. Force fields help, but he only has 3 sentries. He has 1 Colossi, and Freedom is coming. There's still some Vikings on the deck as well. I don't think Super was quite ready, and the slow siege begins. He can't fight this with 2-2. He will lose, let alone the Liberator sieged him. Innovation knows he has a big window here. 2-2 is finished. Will Super just go for it? This Colossi getting as many swipes as it can. A decent chunk of the Liberators already going down. The charge lots in front doing okay, but not doing great. He jumps on another Liberator, and another one, and another one. 3 Immortals in the back, pounding the point home. But it's 170 to 113 supply. This battle may look close, but the war definitely is not. If 3-3 is allowed to finish, he's pushing him back. Maybe he gets another medevac or 2. If he blinks, though, ooh, that was dangerous. But he does get a medevac for his trouble. The Immortal count is solid, and he actually reset the Liberators for now. Oh, he can't jump on this, though. He has to back up. He needs 3-3 to have a chance.
I expected so much more.
Thank you for the
I need to take a
donation.
shit really bad, but I don't want to miss a single second of that PogChamp amused.
Oh, and Innovation swinging around at the top, and actually losing another medevac or 2. Good pickoffs here. That's the only way he can stick in this game. This Liberator siege from this side, there's not even gas at the third base. His gas count is so low. He's relying so much on these meaty gateway units. 3-3 is done. This is Super's best timing. 3-3 just started for Innovation. So he can fight the bio. He doesn't want to fight into Liberators. You never want to fight into Liberators. But he can fight the bio if he gets a nice angle. Oh no. Got Freedom. As at the same time as this fight is being taken, Innovation with the quadruple siege up, and Super reeling from the first fight. Not going to be ready for this one. A single overcharge is a distant dream when it comes to defending this. And suddenly the Colossi are caught out of position. Innovation just pounding home. Too many different angles. He tied up the army on the right-hand side and never let it go before he was sieged up in the middle. Yeah, he can blink in. Down goes a Liberator. 2, 3, 4. But once again, the bases, the army, just the ability to split his army into cost-effective portions is going to be more than enough, and Super has been getting ground down since minute 4. And 10 minutes later, he's held on valiantly. But it's not going to be enough. Innovation's going to take this game. There's no way out of this right now for Inno. I mean, for Super. Because he's not the superstar of this game. Yeah, there are 3 medevacs here. He might even make it look close. But Innovation, oh my god, has a little bit too much. He can just pull the boys for this fight if he needs to. A Guardian Shield will make some of the difference, but just the Liberators alone are almost enough. There's actually 2 more medevacs at the back. And the bio is crushing forward. Not a single medevac. Okay, they're back here, but no. He crushes it. Honestly, I gotta say, that was pretty impressive defense from Super. He was a little bit late on his Twilight Council timing. Maybe he could have gone for a double robo, but that was still a solid game out of Super. Surprisingly, he didn't crumble, is what I'm trying to say. He held on, and he did a good job of it. If his blink had been a little quicker, if his upgrades had been a little quicker, maybe he could have taken the fights, and he would have been better off. But honestly, against Innovation, coming close is still a big accomplishment. All right, here we go. Game number 2. He's not playing against the other caster from Raven Z. Yeah, both these players at about 400 APM, give or take, which is 1 action, approximately 5 to 6 actions a second, which is pretty good. No, 6 to 7 actions a second, which is it's a few. All right, we've got game number 2 here. Belshire Vestige is the choice. Not a bad map for Super, obviously. As a Protoss player, even against a Terran, just having the ability to cut off your opponent and limit the angles for medevacs and such is important. All right. There we go. Wait, where's the thingy? There we go. Nope, that's the score's wrong every damn time. I did it. Ooh, things to talk about already, but in the top, yeah, fuck the introductions. He's going for a gas first, and is he gonna proxy a factory, or is this just to put on some pressure? Now, a gas first in PvT or TVP rather, coming out from Innovation. Means he's going to get aggressive. Unless, obviously, he's like being proxy gated or pyloned or something. But it means his intent is to put on pressure onto especially a Protoss that goes for an early expo, to draw out overcharges and eventually just break through. Now, it might be a macro gas, and it looks like it is just because of how long he's held off getting a second gas. So I'm interested to see, is this going to be just a quick Widowmine drop? There's been a Hellion build going around where you opt for reactored Hellions, and you get like 4 Hellions to throw them off and draw out overcharges before you go in with a Marine drop or something. You will be opting for a Reaper. I don't pretend to understand the Master himself, but I'm going to learn something here, and hopefully you guys do too. We've got the standard setup out of Super here. He's got the semi-wall against the Reaper. The Cybercore in a reasonable timing. This Reaper is not actually quicker. I was like, why is there a Reaper across the map? Wow, that's crazy. Innovation, you're so good. No, that's an SCV. That's an SCV. And it actually will see pretty much everything. Now, what's important about this? My voice fucking cracking. What's important about this is when you go for a Reaper first, go for a gas first Reaper, there's actually a few more seconds before that Reaper gets in because you delay your barracks for the gas. And when that happens, they can easily have... Oh my god, he goes for it, and he catches the Reaper. Really greedy out of Innovation there. Honestly, because of the SCV Scout, along with the later Reaper, Super might realize this is some sort of gas first play. But when you go for the barracks delay, because you got the gas first, the Reaper comes in a little bit later, which means there can be things like a mothership core out already, and the Reaper might not get scouting information. So that's why the SCV Scout is a pretty important part of that. and why I think Innovation did. Now, the reason he's pulling this off is because if he let it mine another set, another couple patches, yeah, super. He killed the Reaper, so he just goes straight across the map. He brings the Mothership Core along for the ride, and this is actually going to get a little bit out of hand here. Because what kills the Mothership Core now? He can't shoot up. Okay, I was about to talk about mule changing patches or whatever, but that's not nearly as important as the fact Innovation, he lost the Reaper, the Mothership Core is not tied back at home, and it can come across the map with the Adept, and now Innovation, he's lost an SCV, he's lost a couple Marines, and he has no map control whatsoever. Super getting off to a nice early start here, and it looks like he's going to follow up with the same thing as before. It's going to be the quick Colossi, but he's already gained a little bit of space. It's not like, oh my god, he's so far ahead. Can Innovation catch up? He's going to have the race of his... No. But it's nice. It's nice for him. He gets a little bit. And that can become a lot more as time goes on. Like this Widow Mine drop, he scouts out. The Robo's already done. He's already got Stalkers in position. He can target down the Widow Mines before they even get out. And he can drive away the Medevac before it even gets a look inside the main. He's got a solid setup here. Will he trigger an overcharge? Innovation skirting along the outskirt of that pylon. Obviously, the skirt thing is still relevant. Yeah, he's just going to eat the shot with the Mothership Core. That's a bit risky, to be honest. But that means not a single probe will go down, so that's the price he's willing to pay. Whoop! And if he loses the Medevac... Oh, one more shot! It's not enough. That would have been big. Losing the Medevac with both Widow Mines for 0 probe damage really just kills your momentum. You need to get a little bit done, even if it is just force him to respawn, keep observers tied up, whatever. You lose the Medevac, you have no map control at all. So. Okay. We've got the double forge follow-up. He knows his plan, and he's sticking to it. We should see the 1-1. He wants to get the extended thermal lance. He wants to get... Is he going all in? No. He's just going up to 5 Ks. Before a third. So this could be aggressive here. He might be looking to power up units for a 1-1 timing and just opt for a Colossi all in, because he did a lot of damage to the Medevac. He knows when he goes for that Medevac drop, it's going to delay. He's going to want more Medevacs, which means he's not going to be able to make Vikings because he's getting those Medevacs. I did the math. If you're making Medevacs, you can't make Vikings out of the same starport. I'm a genius. No, there's the third Nexus. He's just powering up to be able to defend. So Super in a much better spot already than he was last game. The build from Innovation was a bit different. Super almost identical. He just took advantage of the situation. And Innovation just unable to find any sort of angle to move through. Alright. So, it looks like Innovation's going to set up an attack, but unfortunately, the Protoss will be fully operational when he arrives. We're going to have 1-1 finishing up. Is he chrono boosting? Yep, double chrono. He's got extended thermal lance for 2 Colossi now, which means you can't fight that. He's got his third base set up, and he's got observers in position. He sees this army moving out, and yeah, so Super knows the position he's in. He wants to fight. He's spoiling for it right now. Now, this actually might be a little bit optimistic. He takes the watchtower. He sees the edge of this army. If he can outmaneuver it, but without 1-1, it's a bit risky to try to take this fight. But he's going to come down from this weird angle. Force fields can make all the difference. He comes in with a few stalkers. I don't know about this from Super. His 1-1 isn't done yet. Yeah, that was... He tried to get fancy there. And he lost his sentries, which hurts a lot. Not having a Guardian Shield is going to make this fight a lot more difficult. He didn't kill any... oh, this is actually really nice. He didn't kill a single one of the tanks, though. Another stim is coming in. There's a few zealots in the main. Oh, the Widow Mine drop onto the army. One should connect. But the Thermal Lance and the 1-1 now kicking in. He actually cancels or kills the third base. I'm not sure which one, and the upgrades are showing now. He's still trying to push forward. He will be able to pick off one of these Colossi, but at the same time, a double drop to the main. I even got distracted. Obviously, Super wasn't prepared for this either. A good Widow Mine draw. If he actually kills the Forges, this resets a lot of the work that Super has put in to gain a lead here. Despite the fact he delayed the third, it looks like the 2-2 is just going to straight up go down. Yeah, he gets both Forges. The main base, oh god, the Widow Mine hit. eats another few probes, and suddenly Innovation has turned this right on around onto its head. Super tried to get cute, he tried to get fancy, and now it looks like he might pay the ultimate price for that. Another Widow Mine. Oh god, 13 probes now, and they're still in the main. The worker count is dead even. 2-2. 2-2 was the biggest victory there. Resetting those upgrades means there's nothing else for him to lean on. Oh, God. That feel right there. And then suddenly he had to keep units back a little bit longer, which means he's not at the third base, and another army's coming up. The mothership core gets picked off. The forges are under fire again. And Innovation, 1, 2, 3, drop in the main, attack at the third, takes it out, and then right up the gut. And suddenly, Super's position, his supply is high, but his chances are just about the opposite. Oh my god, if this one finishes too. Yeah. It seems like Super has fallen apart here. Innovation has forced a lot of cracks in what was looking like solid play. And now, 55 to 50 workers. So Super, is there an armory done? Did he finish an armory? Okay, there's no armory. Did he kill the Twilight? No. So if Super has the presence of mind to restart his upgrades and he's able to hold on, he still has 3 Colossi. If he starts that 2-2, he's still okay economically. Thank you, Funky Monkey. It's not great. Yeah, thank you. The ping's coming out. It's not great. He hasn't restarted his 2-2, though. He's just now retaking the third. He hasn't even been building probes, really. That's why he's down a few workers. And so what is the advantage here as time goes on? He's not building a Templar Archives. He's not building more Colossi. He's not getting upgrades. Is he just going to try to kill him? But he can't kill him. He barely has any Stalkers at all. Just kidding. But, yeah, if Super doesn't restart that 2-2, I don't even know if he... I mean, obviously he realized he lost his forges, but mentally maybe he forgot that they were upgrading. So right now, Innovation's just building up a Viking count. He's getting upgrades. He has a better economy. Nothing is getting better over time for Super. It just gets worse and it gets worse as time goes on. If you're not getting Templar or DTs or a War Prism or upgrades, or yes, I can list pretty much everything Protoss can do. Adept run-bys. 4th base. Speaking of, that's actually his main taking a journey over there, but I think Super has really felt the pressure of Innovation coming down on him. And he's cracking under it. The Vikings just very angry here. He loses the mothership core without even throwing down a time warp. The Colossi trying their best, but I don't think Innovation cares. As a second one goes down, he tries to blink under the Vikings. Is targeting them down going to matter? Now, if he had 2-2, this fight would probably go in Super's direction, but Innovation is just too good, and he will be taking it home 2-0. So.
Replay saved.
Alright, and he takes him down. Super taps out. Let's go ahead and bring up those brackets. Creator versus